door is closed again. Nothing to... The worn map features your finger moves through. Finally.
For a more detailed view of the map,
You see ahead the cold. It leads, the door does not.
Hey, what's this?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de patting the gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane endures the wintry gusts with ease. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
this is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. Roger that. 10-10.
This is Precinct 57. Does it... Sylvie? Yes. Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? Please, no. No, you were trying to impress some people with... Great.
You hear...
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 50...
In the cabin, you see a...
Tequila Sunset. Tequila Sunset. Right. A story specific to Martinez and its history. I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 expeditions come through, searching for something.
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds, near an abandoned construction yard. The young men look over their shoulders suspiciously.
Magic animals? No, man, this is serious stuff. No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. It's guys like you and me that are the exceptions. Hey, hey! Fuck you, Tequila. All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people. Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. Others don't return at all. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. It was just too high concept, even for me.
There's no way. It can't be. You know.
I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. Our story begins at a legendary design studio, right here in Martinez. There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya, where he did some real pioneering work on grotesque and sans serif typography. A fucking genius, man. That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend, after all.
He existed, all right. You feel it deep within your basal ganglia. He was as real as you are. I'm talking about...
Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass-smooth, forward-looking design language, the kind of thing that would totally overthrow the old regime, design-wise.
A paradigm-shattering revolutionary?
But then something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand. You know Tequila, no...
The kids on the streets also call it.
Or Elysium gold. For the plateau on which most of the world...
Sinus salt...
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocratic class of the prior century.
Along with a number of more banal street names. Blow, of course, but also flake, powder, perp. He's talking about...
Shit, yeah, Tequila. You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that right now, as you might imagine...
Wrong. All day.
Hey, Tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance, an advert so minimal it contained neither text nor images, just pure white. Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine." But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly a quarter kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity.
That's almost certainly anatomically wrong again.
That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade. There are those who believe the designer was buried with this quarter key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull. Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world, that's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can contain that amount of anything.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute.
What?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to search the area behind that lorry too, yet it is impassable. Second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the cocaine skull justice. You need new gear, people who know what they're doing, all kinds of provision. It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got now. We can't afford to run around chasing after quasi-mythical pieces of drug paraphernalia. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that
Wait. Maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast. Don't give up now.
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance.
Uncle.
There's no waking him.
The legend! He's back! And for...
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
we can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
The face of King Freecell smiles at you. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du Cristal a la Fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going a la only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already, perhaps they've overestimated the market demand. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes you also. Whoa. Bear wrestling. Apparently, you flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes a moment. Why? Obvious. As you leap, the main feature, though, is a long. You flip back to the front of the.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down.
greatest innocence. Browsing through the book again, your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well. It seemed... Oh yeah. This is what I was made for. Correct. As the question easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You? Correct. Named the innocence of militarism. Franco Neg question got it under control. No problem. Correct. The most finals. I've got it. Honest. Correct. Everything. And A. Or you really navigated some treacherous waters here. Well done. But endless tries aren't. Hardcore aesthetic. Oh yes, drugs. We're talking about drugs. Let's face it, these flirtations with the hardcore aesthetic have all been leading up to one question. Can I do drugs harder now that I'm a hard cop? And the answer is yes. You can. You can do one more blast of pyrrolidon and yellow shit powder. You can even pull a ciggy and a lager on top of that. There, you've truly made the hardcore your own thing now.
Put your hands where I can see them. Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
The man appears to be pulling out an object from his pocket. Fear under threat! Fear under threat! Superseding event. Split-second decision. Get on the ground! Get on the goddamn ground! Get on the ground! I want you on the pavement right now! This is the pigs! Subject yourself to a full-body cavity search. Prohibited materials concealed in nostrils, ears, mouth, navel, urethra, foreskin, vagina, and rectum.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
in need of assistance! Suspect alert! Get on the ground!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big red key!
Big red key? That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this.
It's a goddamn police shitbag! Hug the pavement! You're under arrest!
She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear.
Suicide by cop! Split-second decision! Eat lead, scumbag!
Oh my god. In your peripheral vision, the lieutenant releases the half-squeezed trigger.
God, I almost blew her head off.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Great gears are grinding to a halt. The machine is powering down. She's all out of jolt.
Oh, we need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her? I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless. Just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her once more. The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? The old woman doesn't react to your touch. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
The lieutenant nods. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a cramped 2 empty...
A tragedy.
The woman's is one of those things. A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter... A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. It didn't give you any fun for that money.
Officer, that's enough. Let's return to work.
That's right. Walk away. It's over. A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, caustic... Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm. It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know to only unholster their service weapon when using it is unavoidable.
Yo, man, what's on your mind? Rest of the crew has got to stay here. Can't afford to let the beat drop right as we're getting off the ground. Much love to my hardcore antenna brothers!
Good luck, guys.
Try to squeeze in a promo spot while you're on air. We've got to start putting the word out.
Back across the waterlock. At least we are getting our exercise in today.
You can grab that amplifier, officer. And you start spooling up those cables. Maybe we can get it all in one go. Just plug that in there, would ya?
It's done. I believe we are ready.
Yeah, as ready as we're gonna be. Grab one of these can sets, both of ya. I've got it rigged so that we can all listen, but only your cop talk will broadcast. No idea what we're gonna hear when I turn this thing on, so be prepared for anything. Trick is to keep transmitting your request until the big bad acknowledges ya. You got that? No time. We're live in 2, 1...
A soft rustling. The snow seems to have gotten between your ears somehow. Every light switch, every motor carriage, every doorbell, tea kettle, and radio in Martinez, all mingled with electrical interference caused by scattered thunderstorms over Ozone.
Hey, Lawman! We're waiting on ya!
Is there anybody there? The lieutenant looks up at you with a nervous glance. Nervous for who, though? You cannot say.
Give it another go!
Nein, Liebling. Unseren Jungen nach Redeposten. Einen dieser Dinger. Marianne hat mir erzählt, dass Oscar nicht mehr derselbe ist, seit er auf einem Luftschiff aus Grad zurückgekommen ist. Natürlich halten wir die Psychologen für vollkommen normal, aber sie hat das Gefühl.
You can't make out a word of this gibberish. The rustling of dry autumn leaves, waves breaking at a distance, 1,000 wings beating at once.
Liebling, bitte. Er ist unser einziges Kind. Er kann doch auch nächstes Jahr zur Akademie gehen.
Me neither. Just keep trying. We'll get through these radio spookers eventually. Again.
It's gone now. A slight frisson at the point where your neck meets your spine. Something about the lieutenant's words directed at you, but not you.
Mention what? I didn't say anything, Detective.
Someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
An uncomfortable silence falls over the connection.
It's been a long winter, long and cold.
I can assure you it's not my twin brother, though it certainly does sound like me.
Sounds like your partner's being haunted by his past self. Or maybe he's trying to warn himself. From the future, most like. I don't know much about radios.
It's just a little bit of pale interference, Detective. A little eerie, perhaps, but perfectly explicable.
Outwardly, the lieutenant exudes reassurance, but you can sense a lingering doubt in his voice. Pale, 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 pale seems to be missing from your records.
Natürlich halten ihn die Psychologen für vollkommen normal.
You just have to embrace the spookiness. Now give it another go.
But someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Dubois, please acknowledge. Liebling, bitte. Ist unser einziges Kind. Where's Sebastian? Please identify.
The signals are getting increasingly mixed. Plucking Archer's signal from this will be like isolating a single strand from a tangle of hair.
This isn't looking good. The radio spookers are winning. Don't know. If we can't get around the interference, we're in deep trouble. Hold on. I think Gag gave me some sort of checklist. Says here, main step, volume to the max. That's not too helpful. Okay. It also says, inspect connections for hardcore clarity. So let's try that. My guess, you climb up the Centaur, man. See if there's anything obviously interfering with them. Maybe you've got some technical law science.
This isn't exactly your area of expertise, though.
Someone has been maintaining it.
Something about this setup seems dimly familiar, but you'll be damned if you know what you're supposed to do about it.
Maybe you break an arm, maybe you break your neck. Could go either way, honestly. But that's what the Invalids Fund is for. So don't worry about it for now. It's gotta be you. I'm manning the decks down here.
Your gloves give you a solid grip on the metal bar. This feels pleasingly familiar. You don't exactly cut a lithesome figure, but after several moments of scrambling, you manage to hoist yourself atop the monument. That performance was frankly an embarrassment. The connection itself is nothing more than a little braid of exposed wire wrapped about the hoof of the horse. A copper fetter it cannot slip. Truth be told, you have no idea what you're looking for. It just looks like a cord attached to a piece of metal. You pick at the colourful rubber jacketing, not sure what else to do.
Well, what's it look like? I don't know what to do then. Hang on, I'm looking at Egg's checklist. He says, if all fails, bend antenna. Narrow is the hardcore way. That make any sense to you?
says here, muscle style. Good question. Maybe he's saying we're casting too wide a net. Gotta narrow our receiving band so we pick up the big bad without the spookers. Since you're already up there, I say you should do it.
The speed freak is right. The responsibility is yours and yours alone. There's no turning back now. You are face to face with Philip III. The Bronze King looks toward the west. Something about his features seems bizarrely distorted. This faithful steed is in nearly as poor a condition as its rider. The sky is opaque with dark clouds. Snow spirals all around you. You turn to the east, but the visibility is quite poor. You see no sign of Coalition warship Archer, though you know it can't be too far away. A few of the idle lorry drivers and strikebreakers gesture at you with their cigarettes, more out of curiosity than anything else. She yells a single word you can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk. Your grip is firm, yet controlled. The swelling in your headset guides your hands as much as your hands guide the bronze horse head. It's almost like you're hearing through the horse itself.
Looks like it's working. Keep going. Just a bit more.
Nein, Liebling.
The signal is clear. The storm has passed. This is another voice, a live voice on the other end of this invisible bridge you've established.
Try it now.
Lieutenant Dubois, this is Coalition Warship Archer. We are acknowledging and accepting it.
There it is. The big bad. Now be quick. I'll keep us alive as long as I can.
There is so much you wish you could ask. Your efforts have bought you some time, but you can't forget what you're really here for.
Please be advised that you are speaking on a public frequency. What is your request? A very important question with a very simple answer. We want humanity to endure. Beyond that, it may be said that we are the inheritors and stewards of Dolores Day's legacy. Immeasurable. It includes interstellar travel, 3 scientific revolutions, humanism, internationalism, the welfare state, and balance of terror theory. Nothing less than the intellectual foundation of our modern order. The role of the Moralist International is twofold: to buy humanity sufficient time to perfect itself, and to patiently guide it along the road while protecting it from ideological highwaymen and eschatologists. It was established by many of the same founding party members who elected Dolores Day, and who, after her assassination, dedicated their lives to the continuation of their political and intellectual projects.
The other members of the founding party moved to Sur-la-Clay and invented modern corporate finance. Their names may still be found on the pediments of some of the largest investment banks in the world.
There are many. The communists say they are the next dialectical step in an inexorable spiral of progress. They claim to have resolved the inherent contradictions of moralism and believe they're just one revolution away from establishing a humanist paradigm. The fascists say they are both the ancestors of and the successors to the loyalists. In other words, they believe that Dolores Day's reign simply represents a glorious phase of expansion within a greater Franco-Nigerian heritage. They criticize the DeLorean project for accepting and integrating new peoples rather than forcefully subjugating them. And then, there are our prodigal cousins, the Vazan Social Democrats, who hold our same values and have even adopted many of our same rights and iconography, though they persist in rejecting the umbrella of moralism.
For some reason, it's the Social Democrats she sounds most exasperated with.
Yes. Atomic war, environmental degradation, resource exhaustion, viral pandemic, supervolcanism, runaway anthropogenetic collapse. This is why it is critical for the international community to work toward peace and cooperation between nations. There's simply too much at stake. It's an elegant idea, one of the cornerstones of the modern era. In short, it holds that durable, lasting peace is possible when the major powers are capable of inflicting unacceptable and irreversible destruction upon one another. Because no rational state is willing to accept the risk of such a calamity befalling its own people. All powers are incentivized to de-escalate conflicts before they reach the point of no return. It's an elegant idea, one of the cornerstones of the modern era. In short, because no rational state is willing to accept the... For the most part, it has. The world is certainly not free of violent conflict. But in the modern era, we have made great strides to reduce its frequency, duration, and severity. The RCM exists under the umbrella of the coalition, just as the coalition exists under the umbrella of the moral intent. At the same time, the RCM is not exactly of the coalition. We are not that familiar with RCM lore and practice, but we believe that may be the case. As we recall, the decomptage originated with the Revacholian commune itself.
There is some truth to that.
But in a practical sense, it's the responsibility of the ethics divisions to ensure that both organizations are working towards the same ends.
The Ethics Division is the branch of the RCM that coordinates activities with the Coalition. It's composed of high-ranking RCM officials and their medium-ranking moral intern counterparts. In other words, it's a fundamental part of the RCM, so you probably shouldn't ask her any questions about it.
I suppose I enjoy casework too much, but surely you have more interesting things to discuss with the Coalition than my career path.
Lieutenant Dubois, was there anything else? The RCM, at the same time, the RCM is not exactly of the Coalition. It's our understanding that the RCM's organizational structure predates the Coalition.
There is some truth to that.
But in a practical...
The Ethics Division, in other words, it's a fundamental part of the RCM. So you probably shouldn't ask her any questions about it.
Because the Coalition has no interest in running Revachol. We'll succeed in our own mission the moment Revachol rejoins the international community as a sovereign democracy. The RCM is an integral piece of that project. Let us answer your question with a question. Have you ever seen evening fall over the old town of Vesperashi? The heart of the city, the old town, is a district composed of weather marks, comprising thousands of columns and arcades arranged around a series of grand plazas. During the day, it's a beautiful sight, equal to any of the great cities of Pericarnassus. But as the sun sets, the shadows cast by those columns and arcades weave together to form an intricate ombre and lattice. When you see it, you suddenly understand. It was all built for you, for this very moment.
The name at Vesperaskit means evening comes.
By thousands of people over many centuries, in keeping with a precise plan each believed in, but never expected to see the final completion of. Not only that, but you are also part of that centuries-long plan. When you cross one of the open plazas, your own shadows is effortlessly woven into the great lattice work, a deliberate synthesis of humanity, art, and the natural world. Yes, it is. We grew up there. We have seen the lattice with our own eyes. She was. There are even those who say that at Vesperashi summoned Dolores Day, or that it was built in preparation for her, centuries before her arrival. That's why the old town is sometimes called the ceremonial heart of humanity. Of course, such a city does not spring from nowhere, nor does it endure without effort. Its construction was the work of many generations, and its preservation is an equally monumental responsibility. About 3,000 years.
She really had that on the tip of her tongue. It's like she has the timeline laid out right in front of her.
It is in all senses the most moderate and reasonable projection possible based on current science. You are currently speaking with Coalition Worship Archer, flagship of Insurcom forces in Revachol. No, the captain of the Archer is deeply classified intelligence. We are the second signaler. Our name is not important. All you need to know is that we hold the position of second signaler aboard the Archer.
You really don't have the faintest guess what her name could be. You were never very good at this sort of thing. There's something in the way she refers to herself, always with the first person plural. A deliberate blurring of the boundary between herself and the institution she represents.
Because it's standard practice for signalers to use the pluralis officialis during the course of our duties. It's meant to serve as a reminder that we don't speak only for ourselves. For instance, as second signaler, we represent Coalition Worship Archer, which in turn represents Insurcom and the Coalition more generally, which in turn represents the Moralist International, which itself represents the interests of 1.2 billion people across the world. It's an important responsibility, but we don't consider it any greater than those borne by countless people all across the world. Now, your request?
Liebling, bitte. Er ist unser einziges Kind.
Signal's weakening. I guess you've got about 2 questions left.
Come again? We're picking up more interference. Acknowledged. To reach the committee, all you need to do is fill out the appropriate request form and submit it to the liaison for public affairs. If the liaison accepts your request, you will be invited to address the committee at their next quarterly public hearing. We believe the next hearing is scheduled for July. We're afraid that is quite impossible, Lieutenant Dubois. We cannot transfer you to the committee because We are not entrusted with that responsibility. We are simply the second signaler. That is the nature of the command pyramid, yes. Most modern organizations work in a similar way, even the RCM.
You're getting out-tangled by the big bad. Time to try something else.
Not a problem. If this is a time-sensitive matter, you may file an emergency address request with the liaison for public affairs. Not a problem. If this is a time, they typically respond within a few weeks.
What part of need to reach the committee doesn't she understand? Time to lay it all out.
We will hear your request, Lieutenant Dubois. Although we must inform you that the committee does not typically intervene in personal matters.
That's only because they haven't heard about your problems yet.
So, you're experiencing acute memory loss. We don't see how this is the committee's business.
Oh, God, here we go.
We're afraid we don't understand at all. What does this something have to do with your lost memory? Unfortunately, we cannot accept your request. We really have no idea what you're talking about. But we are quite sure it is beyond the purview of the committee of responsibility. Now, please excuse us while we update the receiving frequency. This connection will be cleared in 4, 3...
Quick, hang up on her first.
2, 1... Après le monde, le gris.
And the line goes quiet. The lieutenant gives a long sigh as he removes his headphones. He looks up at you.
I think it's best for you to climb off the statue now, Detective. Your real work is down here.
The cold bronze tickles your inner thighs. Your legs have grown stiff. You've been up here quite a while. You look around. Most everyone has already gone home for the night. It's really just you, the lieutenant, and the speed freak left. There's really no point. You're beginning to feel like the little child who refuses to come down off the carousel.
About time. You grab that amp, forget the cables. Need to leave some evidence of our antenna to inspire future generations.
What's one more trip across the waterlock?
Alright, Cotman. We've held up more than our share of this collaboration. I hope you recognise how much the hardcore underground came through for you.
If you want to show your appreciation, we can still use your help. Egg is the one to talk to. Hardcore! Mutual aid!
Sure, you have to say that now, but I'll put this tech away later. I think there's an extra can set, in case you want to grab a souvenir or something. Don't think anyone will miss it. Yo, man, what's on your mind?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
That's a deal! Yeah! Medium car!
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax.
Yes, what is it?
Hey, man. It's good to see you.
Goodbye.
Yes?
An old door.
It's me, the washer.
It may have been you. Just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying of surrounding reeds. The gnarled hawthorn patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. The gnarled hawthorn tree.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
You see a The door does not. The old king and his horse.
Loman, you called me at a...
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything, of course.
It's getting late, and it's...
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shop.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Get the drink on. It would be unimaginable for a human female to have sex with a man without alcohol as the master of ceremonies to guide them.
Okay. Where's this going? Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer.
She doesn't even understand. You asked her. It's getting late. On the table, you see a bowl of water. The water reflects back. You almost look like a professional. The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned it. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function. To keep you from it.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
In hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
Yes?
trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. A few lie on their backs with their legs twitching. Still, no phasmid.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it, but he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old Kent. Nobody knew him better than I did. And
strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Yes, he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it.
That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth. Something to keep in mind if you really plan to give yourself to Revachol.
No. René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable. I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then we've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a Kant and he died a Kant. Let's leave it at that. Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me. His hungry little heart finally gave out.
Wait, did he push him?
Yes,
That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth.
I'm glad to assist you if I can, officer.
Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something. Yes? What about René? Yes. We all got to go sometime, officer. Everyone I love is already there. Probably waiting for me.
We are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. I just don't know anymore.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man.
Yes? What is it?
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Hey, what's this?
The man ponders his cooking utensils. He looks up at shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind.
Hi again, Gendarme. Bye-bye, Jean.
I've got nothing to say to you.
It's you again. What is it? What's that, copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Courant or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everett's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She had something of yours, pig. You're fucking with me. Your gun. She had your fucking gun?
Sure did, boss. Heard him loud and clear. The pigs lost his gun to the pigs.
Well, at least I can see you got it back. If you have any questions. Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know? Was? Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? You are already signed up, Cerdo. This guy is seriously damaged.
Nah, don't worry about it, Al. The cops want to dress up and play policeman. Let them. We'll keep doing the real work. Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
No problemo, cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
It's you again. What is it?
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar? You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
Huh? You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffito removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push, quick.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You want to talk to her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you talk to her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's Amonju with an O-U.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. 2 rooms over from yours. Sure, why not? You've probably seen her around.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well do...
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
You mean Revachol? Nah. Our Miss Aranye disco dancer is an immigrant or a drifter of some sort. Been staying over here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent.
What do you think I meant? Yeah, tons of it. Oh, no, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
You don't know her. Good boy. You don't know her. Not the way I do. Remember what I said. Freight train of pain. Again? Yeah, whatever.
Officer, what was that? You looked strange when he mentioned the assault victim's name. Do you know that woman? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else? Okay, that's manageable. Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. So she overheard you, or did you party together? Anything else? We'll be all right, Lieutenant. This is nothing.
Is it though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up. Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bone.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoparidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra? This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. Silently, the bottle slides into your palm. Then, as you turn, into your pocket. Feels so sleek and beautiful. You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Time to become a super detective again, Harry. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. The wind brushes. This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamp. You dropped it. This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with peptide silently. Feels so sleek and beautiful. This window, smooth, following your lead. The lieutenant.
Looks like it, yes.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets.
I don't know, Lieutenant Euphrator. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A dull thump. Somewhere inside, a wind brace rattles from the imperceptible motion of the building.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. I hate it when that happens.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You kick it, gung-ho style. Entering the premises style. But the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you.
All right, let's trash the place.
Let's not.
Welcome to the roof.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. Nice. I don't know about that, officer.
Where a ripe corpse still hangs from the tree, spotted with green and purple.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race. instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going has brought you to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man who was hanged. The people responsible have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed, her eyes on the cigarette.
Clausier Amondou.
Same name that Titus gave you. Like her accent, it sounds Oranese.
Right, sir. Vrai de Fort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate. A bad memory, officer.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of Revachol, the coalition. People consider it a reasonable superpower. They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you out anytime, like Revachol did in its prime.
Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminium. Vrai de Fort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. And night.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... only the name of the nation changes. Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit. Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
Of course she won a beauty pageant. She's very symmetrical.
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor.
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausier Amondou. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street. And I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why I hid it.
Why else?
I'm an unpopular girl. There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry. This has nothing to do with your investigation. I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. Phew. Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Ravachol? Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. You tell me, officer, when you've kicked it down. I've been wondering myself, but I'm light of foot. Not a... It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it. With money, sir. It's not exactly the NT-Star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The Anti-Star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments, like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Very funky. Okay. Yeah? Alright. It's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it?
She looks around. The sun has risen over the sea. People are rushing to work below.
It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I even awake? Yeah, I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, her movements. If she's acting, she's quite gifted. By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
Pretty much.
Warning them.
I'm 89% sure. Cool. We partied. A lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. I guess you can say that, yes, a bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh yes. I have multiple viewpoints. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. No, I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
So, she's Scott's mystery foam cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
We're not entirely convinced about that answer, but okay. Let it slide. Pushing won't help here.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. And he's still hanging there.
We will move the body to the morgue today, miss. Don't worry.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail.
Pretty. Looks like a dried Maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? A martial art, sir.
Samurai boxing, or Sambo, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth and cool.
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
wasteland of reality. Congrats, you're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years though. It'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or hand claps. This is how normal people are all the time.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for...
She looks back. Don't worry. We will see through.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
You would have caught it.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.